Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm sharing a before and after crafty organization video using my Cricut machine. I have labeled every single box and container in one of my craft room cupboards so that it looks more organized and things are easier to find. Today I'm going to show you how you can create some labels for your craft room using a Cricut machine and some vinyl so that everything looks organized. Step 1 is to make a list of all of the labels that you want to print, and step 2 is to measure the containers that you're going to want your labels on. This container here, I've got 8 of these in my craft room. I bought them from Kmart. There's some sort of kitchen storage container, I think. I'm storing some cards in this one. There's a little divider that you can place in different positions in the box as well if you wanted to divide things up. The measurements here are 14 centimeters across and 5 centimeters down. The fridge containers that I'm also using have a similar measurement. They are about 13 centimeters by 4 centimeters. The little labels that I've got on the boxes are about 9 centimeters along one side and then about 6 centimeters on the other. To make some labels starting from scratch, open up Cricut Design Space and start a new project by clicking on the plus button over here. We're going to introduce some text to our page, so we're going to click on the text button. I've made a list of the words that I'll be needing. One of them is layouts. You type that into the box and it comes up like that. To change the font, you click on fonts. I take this tick away, only kerned fonts, remove that tick. Go to System, which is your computer, and then choose the font that you like the best. Or you can download a font from the internet to use. You can also search your font up here. There's the one I want, Breather. That changes it to suit. That changes the label into the font that you want, which is Breather. You need to know the measurements for the piece of paper or the item that you're going to be sticking your label onto. For my boxes, the measurements of my label is 9 centimeters by, say, 5.5. So this size would work quite well. I've learnt to just go a little bit smaller. I might make that about 8 centimeters. And that'll be 3.6 centimeters, which should work perfectly. To duplicate that, you can just right click it and press duplicate. That will create another label. I need 2 layout labels. I'm going to duplicate it again. This time I need to change the words. So you double click on it and then you can highlight the text in the box below and change that to Firmaran. Just check. When you change your word that it doesn't go beyond, you can see that that's gone beyond the 9 centimeters, so that would be too big. So I need to bring that back to about 8 centimeters. Once you are happy with your word, click on the weld button at the bottom, and that just makes sure that the Cricut machine will cut everything out in one piece. Just depends on the type of font that you use. The next one is Prima, so I'm going to duplicate again, double click it, and you can change the words. Prima. Because that's a smaller word, I'm just going to bring that up to the 8 centimeters. You just keep going until you're happy that you've got everything. Alright, so they are my 8 labels that I'm going to need for my boxes. To save this, I just click Save. I'm going to call box labels because I might use those box labels again for the playroom or for the pantry. Okay, that's all good. Now we're going to make it. It's just getting it ready. It should only be one mat. Okay, and you can see here that what you can actually do is move those around if you want to. You want to spread them out a little bit. But you'll see here that I only need 10 centimeters of vinyl going across. So we've got 30 centimeters across the top, 10 centimeters in depth. So I'm going to cut a piece of vinyl. I might cut it down to say 12 centimeters, maybe just to give it a little bit more room. You can spread that out if you want to. So I'm going to cut that out and then I'll connect my machine. So I'm just going to cut my vinyl to the measurement that I said before, and then I will attach it to my sticky Cricut mat. I'm going to enter it into my Cricut machine and press Create, and the machine will do all of the hard work for me. Once the machine has cut everything out, it's time to release the mat. And then I'm going to use my weeding tool to pull off the vinyl from the mat. Now what I learned last time is that I find it helpful to actually cut the words out first before trying to weed off all of the vinyl. So I'm just going to take a sharp pair of scissors. So here I am just cutting out each of the words individually. It's quite difficult to see in the video, but in real life you can see where the words stop and end. Once all of the pieces are cut out, then I can pull off the vinyl, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Then it's time to weed out all of those little bits that didn't come out on the first pull off of the vinyl, and you just use your little tool to get all of those out. The next step is to cut some transfer tape. Now this is really essential to getting your labels off easily. So you just need to cut a piece of transfer tape to the size that you wish, and it's probably better to cut it a little bit bigger than you originally think. You put the transfer tape on top of your label and smooth it down. Then you pull the backing tape off the label. You can use your little Cricut tool to smooth it down, which helps it sort of adhere to the transfer tape. And then you just stick it straight down onto the label and pull your transfer tape off. It's that easy. Isn't that amazing? You can reuse the transfer tape many times. So you can just repeat that process. Pull it off, choose your little label, and then smooth it down onto your label. And then just pull your transfer tape off. It's pretty amazing, to be honest, to see how beautifully neat these labels are in real life. They're very professional looking. So just continue with that process till all of your labels are done. So now all of the labels are complete and they look really good, really professional, very neat, very clean, easy to read, and they're ready to go back into the craft room cupboard onto their corresponding boxes so that we know what's inside everything. On to my next set of labels now. These are for all my plastic containers. Again, the same process applies. I printed them out, weeded them, covered them in the transfer tape, and then I simply applied them to the fridge containers and the other plastic boxes. It looks amazing. Just weeding out those last little bits, popping the transfer tape on the top. Just using that Cricut tool to smooth it down and then adding it to the container. And there we go. This was a very successful project. Here's my before photo and here's my after photo of my craft room cupboard with everything labeled. The boxes, the plastic containers, and the fridge boxes. Everything now has a name on it and it's easy for anyone to find what they're looking for. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it inspires you to label your craft room cupboard. I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a lovely crafty day.